Welcome back. So as I said, now this is what we've been able to style. So now over to our CSS. Let's add more styles. The next thing we'll be styling that down button. Remember, we have this down button here. All right. So I'm changing the color to white because that is what we have on the original. Theirs is white and kind of smaller. So changing ours to white as well. I'm changing the font size to 0.8 em to make it smaller, and I'm giving it a margin left property of 0.4 em. I'm setting the display to inline. This down btn id, let's see to be sure what we are doing. Down btn, where are you? Okay, yeah, this is it. The second, yeah, exactly, down btn. So setting the display. So sorry. All right, so adding down, let's save and see what changes we have for now. Should be looking better. It's loading. Oh, where are you? Okay, the issue I used to have with font awesome sometimes is that you probably might not you will just find them missing sometimes. So apparently I can't deal. Okay. Sometimes one thing with font awesome is you have to just refresh it when you load the page. Remember, you are fetching them from an external site. It might not just load. So I have to refresh the page again, maybe due to network or whatever. So this is what we just styled now. Let's continue. Next, we have the adverts. We have the adverts. The adverts. Remember the adverts page. Okay, so where's the adverts? Inside the main. We are not done with the header though, but for now, let's leave it. It needs to match rhyme, but we'll fix that later. So for now, the header, sorry, inside the main, the first section, adverts. You remember that I said WhatsApp just added that this one, it might be removed very soon. So this is the text here. Let's add the styles to adjust it. So we're giving it the background color of, I have this particular hexadecimal code here. It's not totally exactly what they have, but it's just something close. I gave it a padding top and a padding bottom of 0.3 em. Next, the paragraph text inside it, text align to center, because I want it, it's currently, at the flex start. Now I want it centered. So flex start, font weight 700, I want it to be bolder, and the font size 0.8 em. So when I save that, let's see what we have. Refresh, and can you see? But we're still not done. This is what we have now. There's kind of more space below than we have above. So the anchor tag now, the anchor tag, remember there's an anchor tag as well, this guy here. When I hover it, I want it to be less blue. So I'm adding an opacity of 0.8, just like I did. Let me save, just like I did to these guys here, that once you hover it, it dims. Once you hover them, they also dim. So when I hover it, it should dim a bit. Let me refresh the page, and then, all right, it's just there. No much difference. In continuation, next. Now back to this guy here. Remember, we are not done. It's not totally aligned. So globe button, globe btn. Let's look at what we gave that particular ID, globe btn. This is the last nav. Inside of it, we have the button. All right. Inside the button, we have the first, okay, that globe from Font Awesome. Remember the globe, the globe icon we copied from Font Awesome. Yeah, I gave it an ID of globe btn. So it's what we're styling now. That one that looks like a ball. All right, so I'm giving it a margin right, 0.2 em. I want a little more space by the right, so you can shift to the left. Font size of 1M, display set to inline. Save, refresh. All right, can you see? So it's looking like what we want now. It's well set now. So in continuation, the next thing now, the first div, we're not going to deal with this guy here. So if you look currently, we have 1, 2, 3 aligned to what the original is. 1, 2, 3. There seems to be more space here though, but you can actually make your own more spacious. The height, you can add more padding top and padding bottom if you so wish, but I think mine is fine like this. Mine is fine like this. All right, now so we are going to deal with this transform your business div. And if you remember, I gave it an ID of product choice, just be sure we're not making a mistake. The first section, let me scroll down. All right, sorry. I had the first main section and I gave it an ID of product choice. Inside of it, remember, we have all of these guys. So ID of product choice, I'm giving it a width of 100%. I want that whole section to occupy the whole page. I'm giving the background color the same deep green background color. Height automatic. I'm setting the display to flex and I'm turning on flex wrap. Justify content center. Let everything be centered. Let everything be put, at the center of the section, all the elements inside it. I'm giving it the padding top of 3M. So I want a little more space at the top. A little more space at the top. A padding top of 3M and a margin top of -1M. The margin top of -1M will shift it a bit to the top. So let me see. I save, and presently this is what we're going to have. Okay, now it's looking more. Can you see that when we added it, the extra space, the reason why I gave it -1M, remember that initially this advert here, the space above was little, the space below was more. So I could probably have adjusted that from the div, but I shifted this one by -1M, so it's balancing the equation now. That one is properly aligned. Now this is what we have. It's still not looking good, but it's already making some sense. So we now need to style the content inside. So next, business transform, ID of business transform. And what is that? Inside the product choice section, the first div, we give it an ID of business transform. And that is this one that contains this, this text here. We gave it business transform. So we added some styles to it to make it sensible. Display to flex, but this time around flex direction set to column because I want everything aligned, horizontally. I'm always mixing those words, horizontal or vertical. I probably didn't learn enough mathematics in high school. All right, so I want it aligned, this way instead of left to right. I want it to be top to bottom. So I made it a column. Of course, it's a column by default. Justify content center. Padding shorthand property. That is padding top, padding left, padding right, and padding bottom. All set to 5M. Now I'm going to save and let's see what we're going to have from this guy here. Just this content here is what we're styling now. Now, can you see this is it here? It is still occupying the whole page. So we're going to do something. Normally, we want this guy to be by the left and this picture to be by the right. But that is not all. Remember that the product choice was set to row, but we still need to add a few more things to make it behave well. So inside this guy here, we have an H1. This H1, let's style it. When we are done styling them, they will all come into place because we've already set it to row. So I'm sure they will come into place. The H1, we're giving it the text color of light green, our usual color. We set the font family and I gave it a font size of 3.7M. Next, after the H1, we have the paragraph text, and that is this guy: engage audiences, accelerate sales, blah blah blah. Let's also add some styles to it. Color, its own color will be set to white. We gave it the same font family with the H1. You can actually give it any fancy font any fancy font family of your choice. I think I've taught us already how to get more fancy fonts from Google Fonts, and I believe you should have have a good knowledge of how to use it. So this paragraph, we're giving it a font size of 1.2 m, padding right of 2 m. We want a little more space by the right of it. Now margin top and bottom 2 m each. So we also want to shift it top and bottom. We want to give more space at the top and at the bottom. So I refresh now, and this is what we have now. Can you see there is more space at the bottom, there is more space at the top? All right, so what next? Let's continue. Still not looking good. Next, we style this button that is taking all the whole page. I mean, what kind of button looks like this? So the button, we're giving it a background color, light green, font size of 1 m. We're giving it height of 4 m. We want it kind of taller. And we're giving it, remember I said if you don't want the border to show at all, just like here now we can see there's still this gray-like border. But if you look at most of their own buttons, the borders are not visible. So the best way, I mean, one of the ways to do that is to just ensure that the border color is the same thing as the background color, which is what we did. I'm giving the border radius of 30 pixels to make it a little rounded. Width 15 m. I want it a little wide. Then margin top 2 m. Apparently is too close. It's probably too close to this guy, this paragraph. So I'm adjusting the margin top to 2 m. And then of course, just like every other button, we're going to add some over effect to it. The only thing I did is, because that's the only thing WhatsApp did. I could actually do more fancy over effect, so I'm just trying to stay within the frame of what we have on the original site. So opacity set to 0.6, and since we're having an over effect, compulsorily you have to have your transition element in the button. Transition set to all. Transition duration 0.4 seconds. You don't have to write it in 2 lines. Actually, you can just write after this guy, you can just write the duration, the 0.4 seconds there. It will do the same thing. So I save, and the button now, let's refresh the page. The button should look reasonable. Can you see? Now when I hover it, can you see it's dimming? It's dimming. So it's still making some sense, just that the fact that this guy is covering the whole page is not allowing this image to come here. And this image is also too big. So those are the 2 reasons why they are not staying side by side. So there's apparently a quarrel between them. So in the next video, we're going to adjust the width of this div, cut short the width so that this guy would probably fall on the next line instead of occupying the whole page. And then we're going to adjust the width and height of this image so that they both can stay side by side like one family. So see you in the next video.